Even though French is a difficult language to learn, there are of course some aspects that are harder than others. One of those aspects is when the French equivalent of an English sentence is not a word-for-word translation. I was inspired to make this video when I watched an old interview with actor Brendan Fraser, star of La Momie, Georges de la Jungle, and more recently La Baleine. He speaks a bit of French. I'm going to play the first 30 seconds or so that you have context of the first sentence we're going to analyse. And at the end of the video, I've got a short quiz for you to test your knowledge. So do watch all the way through. Du coup, si vous êtes prêts, allez, c'est parti.
Quand on a annoncé votre nom, les jeunes filles derrière ont dit
Brendan Fraser, ça c'est parce que j'avais dépensé beaucoup d'argent pour faire ça.
Ah oui, vous avez payé. Bravo. Ah bravo, ça a bien marché.
So you might not have understood everything the first time, so let me tell you what was said. The presenter said, alors, il y a eu quelque chose d'extrêmement drôle. Quand on a annoncé votre nom, les jeunes filles derrière ont dit and Brendan replied, ça c'est parce que j'avais dépensé beaucoup d'argent pour faire ça. Now there's probably more than one way to say what he wants to say here, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to assume that he's trying to translate, that's because I spent a lot of money for them to do that.
Pour faire ça.
For them to do that. Now either Brendan avoided trying to form that in French because it's hard, or because he tried to say to do that and just went with pour faire ça, as he wrestled to find the correct preposition. But also, I don't want to discount the fact that he's in a studio full of French people and he had to improvise a charming response in French. Intimidating. Anyway, how could we say for them to do that in French? Word for word, it doesn't work. You would be forgiven for coming out with something like pour eux faire ça, or something like that. This is particularly hard because the structure required doesn't translate word for word from English to French. But that does mean that when you do master it, you'll feel extra good about yourself. For this sentence, we actually need to say pour qu'elle fasse ça. Pour qu'elle fasse ça. Roughly, for that they do that. Which sounds a bit Shakespearean English to me. What do you think? For that they do that doth sound like a phrase from a most noble play, full of wit and wonder, where the characters speaketh in a manner most eloquent and refined.
Salut guys, future Alex just stepping in here for a moment. Watching TV shows and films can be a great way to get exposure to the real spoken form of French from the comfort of your own home, right? Because as you probably know, spoken French is often a lot different to written French, almost a separate language we might say. So allow me to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, LingoPie. LingoPie is a great tool that goes a really long way to help you feel confident that you understand real spoken French. Mais comment? Alors, LingoPie is like Netflix in that it is a video on-demand platform, but the key difference is that it's specifically designed for language learners, so it comes with a ton of well-thought-out features. Things like the ability to show subtitles in either French, English, one or the other, or both at once, or use mashup, which is a clever mix of both, which is perfect for when it's a particularly complicated scene. One frustrating thing about media that is made for natives is that sometimes things are muffled or there is a lot of background noise. You can go back and replay a part that you didn't get the first time, but LingoPie goes further and lets you hear a clear reproduction of that line, phrase, or word. On top of that, you can watch along with the entire script showing at the side of the video. Really handy. Now, I found that LingoPie intelligently groups words together when they might give a different meaning to when the words are viewed individually. For example, in one scene, a character said un peu bourré.
Non, c'est bon, c'est bon.
Non mais je peux...
C'est moi qui devrais m'excuser, je suis un peu bourré, je regarde pas où je vais.
Un peu bourré.
Now, I hovered over the line and un peu bourré was highlighted as one block. I clicked it, a voice pronounced it, and I could click to see the translation, which is a little drunk. But, and this is where context is important here, on its own, bourré means stuffed. So it's really cool that LingoPie is smart enough to teach us the appropriate meaning given the context. Any word you click on gets automatically added to your flashcard deck, which it encourages you to practice at the end of a video. It saves the individual word or phrase, the sentence it was part of, and a clip of the scene for more context to help you remember it.
Je devrais m'excuser, je suis un peu bourré, je regarde pas où je vais.
Bon bah merci alors.
So go and check out LingoPie, I really recommend it. There are so many shows on there right now and more are being added each and every week. They're offering a 7-day free trial and also a 55% discount on a yearly subscription to my subscribers who sign up via the special link down in the description of the video. Okay, that's it for me. Back to la vidéo du jour.
Bref, if you're saying for them, or indeed any object, you, her, we, etc., plus an action for them to do, for us to say, for me to want, we have to say pour que plus the subject in either pronoun or full noun form, plus a conjugated verb, plus, and this is less important in my opinion, the conjugated verb must be in the subjunctive. It's just a rule for what comes after pour que. Yeah. Merci French. So, back to Brendan. Let me play his line again. When he says,
C'est parce que j'avais dépensé beaucoup d'argent pour faire ça.
I think he should have said, ça, c'est parce que j'avais dépensé beaucoup d'argent pour qu'elle fasse ça. And I think getting the pour que in there is more important than the subjunctive. But perhaps some natives in the comments will let me know if that's a correct assumption. No big deal for the interview. He was understood, which is the first goal of any interaction, but it gave us the opportunity to learn this tricky structure. This isn't only relevant to for them to do either. In fact, we see the que plus subject plus subjunctive in a variety of places where the word-for-word equivalent wouldn't be the correct English form. Notably in I want you to come back home. We have to say I want that you come back home. Je veux que tu rentres. Or je veux que tu rentres à la maison. Thankfully, rentrer being a first group or regular verb means that its conjugation for tu is the same in the subjunctive as it is in the indicative. If it were revenir, it'd be less easy. Je veux que tu reviennes à la maison. Je veux que tu reviennes à la maison instead of reviens. The other notable case is to wait for something to happen or for someone to do something. Also said as to wait until something happens or to wait until someone does something. Can you guess how the French say it? And if you're thinking que with subjunctive, ding ding ding, you win. Singer Gims says in his song Tu vas me manquer, ça fait si longtemps que j'attends que tu rentres. Ça fait si longtemps que j'attends que tu rentres. It's been such a long time that I've been waiting for you to come home. But it has this attendre que plus the action. Alors, armed with your new knowledge, let's cement it in your memory. Time for a little quiz for you to complete down in the comments. How do you think you say the following sentences in French? Numéro 1. He wants you to drink faster. Numéro 2. I say a lot of things for her to work harder. Et numéro 3. My friend is waiting until my other friend finishes watching her film. Bit of a longer one there. I can't wait to see your answers down below in the comments. J'ai hâte de les voir. Remember, progrès, pas perfection. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. It really helps my videos get seen by more people, and it's just one click away. And if you want some bite-sized lessons, then consider signing up to my newsletter. A link is down in the description of the video. Merci beaucoup à mes supporters et les membres de la CFSC de votre soutien. À la prochaine tout le monde. Ciao, ciao. And I really hope the sound was okay on this video because I'm outside and there's a breeze and I don't usually work with my microphone outside. So let's see. But if you're watching, then it was good enough. La momie. La momie. Actually, La Baleine is just the Québécois title of the whale. Apparently in France, they just keep it as the whale. But Quebec, La Baleine.